You in the chat.
Okay, thank
There
you.
you go.
And I even have a note down here, but I'm not looking at my notes. Thank you. Okay. No, I'm more paying attention. So thanks, Michelle. And thank you, Angel. I want to first, I want to introduce my co-host, Michelle. So Michelle Anderson, we have been friends for a while now. I don't even know. But you are such a dear friend of mine, and it is such an honor to know you the way I do. But I want to tell you about how special she is. So she is a radio personality, a speaker, an MC, an event producer, and conscious community leader. And she's dedicated to inspiring unity, connection, and expanded awareness. And I can vet her for that. Um, for nearly 20 years, she has been weaving with others to create transformational experiences that bring people together through consciousness and nature. And for the past 14 years, and I may be off on my numbers and all, so don't hold me to it, she has hosted Awakening Code Radio with Eric Rankin on KXFM, featuring conversations with leading voices in spirituality, science, and human potential. So, Michelle facilitates spiritual gatherings and sacred journeys, including experiences connecting with dolphins and whales, and visits to sacred sites around the world. She's a passionate advocate for Indigenous communities and living in harmony with Mother Earth. And she has served as a sought after speaker, MC, and producer for events including Conscious Life Expo, Contact in the Desert, Portal to Ascension, Disclosure Fest, New Living Expo, Cosmic Awakening, 1111 Star Knowledge Conference, Honoring the Galactic Goddess, Sunfire Fest, One Love Fest, and Sister Giant, all conferences and festivals dedicated to unity, peace, and love. Wow, it's an honor to co-host with you. It really is. So thank you, Michelle, for all that you do and for being here and just being my friend and for friends for everybody else as well here. So
Thank you.
I'm going to just give you a little lowdown on myself, if I can find where that was that I was just looking at. Okay. So I am Laurie Wheeler. I am the founder of Wellness Within, which is multidimensional healing and consciousness. I'm a consciousness researcher. I'm an international speaker, author, and transformational holistic practitioner with over 30 years of experience working in alchemical healing and consciousness-based transformation. I'm trained and certified in homeopathy, chemotherapy, hypnosis, medical intuition, and past life and between lives soul regression. And I integrate these modalities to support healing at physical, emotional, and energetic levels. Um, I am a catalyst for high level vibrational change and quantum growth, and I focus my work on reconnecting individuals with their original soul blueprint. And I address root causes, disengaging outdated patterns, and supporting the recalibration of DNA level information. I facilitate this work through embodied awareness, subtle energy practices, and multidimensional guidance. And I collaborate with a quantum biologist, Dr. Glenn Rhine, and have assisted law enforcement with missing persons cold cases. I'm the author of Oh No, Not Another Learning Experience, a metamorphosis, and I guide people to sacred journeys to energetically significant sites worldwide, offering immersive experiences of remembering, alignment, and conscious living. Okay,
Got,
we
got
can
that.
put that.
Got that out of the way.
Yeah,
There we
really,
go.
seriously. I don't know
Can I
about
jump
you.
in? Can I
Yes,
jump
yes.
in and
Oh, please
validate
do.
you?
Yeah.
What I like to do, first of all, I'd like to thank you, Laurie, for inviting me to co-host with you. And I want to thank each and every one of you for following the guidance of your heart to join with us today. Because I believe that what we're doing in these times of great change on our planet is we're being called to join with others who we feel a heart alignment with. And that's what I felt when I met Laurie. So when I met her, bolt of energy went through my body, and I used my body as a compass, kind of like the brain and my heart is what leads me. And when I met Laurie, I said, "Oh my gosh, you're the real deal. You live from your heart, and all this wisdom that she's sharing and all these modalities that she has, you know, put into her toolbox over these years are really changing people's lives. She changed my life by just meeting her and sharing with her. And many of you here have probably experienced that with Laurie, but I just wanted to say thank you so very much, Laurie, for all that you do in the world and for the way that you let your heart lead you. And I feel better for knowing you. You inspire me. You really do. You gave me a kick in the astral to come on here and fight against my hesitance to be, on a camera in front of people doing this. But this does feel like a really significant day. My body tells me that, and I know you'll tell us more about why it's so significant. So thank you. Thank you, Laurie, and thank you to every single one of you who's co-creating with us in this container.
Yeah, well, thank you, Michelle, for that. I so appreciate you. And it's el naturel for you to be in front of the camera, I'm going to say.
I still have a hard time with it, but I'm getting there.
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm here. I'm right there with you, sister. I want to just take a second and send some love to Paula. Paula Romero. I see her. She's on today. Without Paula, I probably wouldn't be able to do this because she does my web stuff and she's new with me, but I love her work and I just wanted to send her some love and just acknowledge her for the work she does because we don't, I think, often think about the people behind the scenes doing, maybe the tech work or those that do, I don't know, whatever's behind the scenes, we'll call it. But they're just as important. And without her, I probably wouldn't have gotten to where I am getting this set up. So, Paula, shout out to you. Much love to you, dear. All right, let's get down to business. So, first thing I want to do is set the intention for the Lion's Gate. And I want to say that it's not about receiving more energy, because there's a lot of energy coming in. It's about becoming coherent enough to use it. And I think, what the interdimensionals, and I can't even remember what master it was that came and said, it's not what's coming in. It's what you do with it that matters. And you can take that as an overlay for almost anything because it isn't. It's like even what comes to us as opportunities, challenges, whatever it is, what's most important about that is really what do we do with it? So why we're gathering now. And I hope people brought a pen and paper because when I do the transmission, whatever comes, you're going to want to write a little bit down so you can remember. Because if you're anything like me, once you come back into this space, the here and now space, it just kind of has this way of dissipating, because you're going from one energy totally into another, all these different places where we'll go. And you're going to want to remember. So whether it's your journal or whatever. So this is not about telling you what to believe in. This is about discovering what resonates with your inner intelligence. And so from all my work and my studies in science, I feel the greatest gateway really isn't, we talk about it's out there somewhere, but I really feel like the gateway is within us. And I think it was something, it's like, I think it's Star Trek that says, something about what's the next frontier. Well, I believe the greatest frontier is within our own self, to explore our own self and to get to know ourselves and our own blueprint and how do we do that? Well, there's, oh my gosh, so many tools, so many ways to do that. But the gateway, the Lion's Gateway is one of them. So the energy is really high right now. It has been in this duration of time. We've still got some days where it's really intensified. It goes from July 28th to August 12th, and we're peaking today. But I'm going to turn this over to Michelle for just a minute because I think Michelle's got a great way to talk about it, and then I'll share my thoughts about it as well. Michelle, would you?
Thank you. When you shared with me before we went on air that she wanted me to, Laurie said, well, yeah, I'll have you share what the Lion's Gate is. And I went, what? So
Uh-oh,
I shared
on
it.
the spot.
I shared a story with her, and she wanted me to talk about that a little bit. And I will share that for many, many years, I've been guided to be either in Mount Shasta, Sedona, or Joshua Tree during the Lion's Gate. And I'm not really somebody who does a whole bunch of research on these things. I kind of stick a toe in all of this wisdom knowledge. I really do listen to what my heart tells me and where I'm supposed to be. And I don't always know why. I really like what you said, Laurie. I have my notebook and I have my pen. And I said, what resonates with your inner intelligence? That is a statement that I very much, Elizabeth's telling me to turn up my volume.
Yeah.
My volume is all the way
All the
up.
way
Can you
up.
believe
Yeah.
that? Is that it? Can you hear me okay? I'll project my voice. Is that
You know
better?
what? You have to get close to your computer so we can see all your beautiful smile lines.
Oh, goodness. Is that any better? I know I don't have my professional microphone hooked up, so I
Yeah, I
apologize
know.
for that.
I know.
Now I go, woo, wait. So anyway, what I have come to learn about that inner intelligence is that I'm always in the right place at the right time with the right people for the right reasons so that I can live and serve my mission on earth, because I'm very feeling that most of us are coming into a greater awareness that we were born during these times. Possibly the invitation there is to heal our past traumas and to course correct our soul's evolutionary journey, and that's what gives us the drive and the purpose to live during these chaotic times. And so I have been guided to be in vortex sites during Lionsgate, and I didn't really understand what it meant. I have very small knowledge about Sirius in the sky and the Egyptian times. I did put this on my altar and bring this with me because this seems important. The symbolism for just honoring Egypt. And I don't go into the technicalities of what Lionsgate actually is, other than an opportunity where the veils are thin, and it's an opportunity for us to manifest and co-create. And wherever we're at on our journey, like Laurie said earlier, I really don't know anyone who's not going through something very significant right now, whether it's career, health, family dynamics, relationship dynamics. Many people are dealing with loved ones that are passing on or pets that are passing on. There's a lot going on in addition to what's going on in politics and the division that we see with our friendship circles and our family circles. And I am here personally, as far as my intention during Lionsgate, feeling the energy of it, to put our group together with the intention that we want to anchor in more peace on earth and calm the collective, calm the chaos in the field. And that begins with each one of us. And I know there's some saying that talks about peace, and that we find peace. How do we truly get to peace? And it's our ability to maintain calm during the chaos. That's when real peace sets in. And boy, I think a lot of us have been experiencing opportunities to model that, display that, or learn that. And so Lionsgate for me is about energy and the way that I feel it in my body. And it's so important for me to gather with groups of people instead of trying to do it all by myself. That I believe that when we come together like this, our hearts are aligning with each other to bring forward those energies. And Laurie is going to tell us more about the technicalities, right, of what Lionsgate is, because I'm interested in learning as well. I don't always hold on to those details because it's the feeling that really is the main thing pulsing in my heart.
So well said. Michelle, drop the mic. I mean, honestly, that's like so well said, so beautiful. I can tell that really does come from your heart. I love that so much. And thank you for sharing that. You do have a beautiful heart, and I appreciate that. So thank you so much for sharing that. I love what you talked about, the calming, the chaos, and desiring peace and manifesting that calm and maintaining that calm. And that's the challenge right now, right? It's the big challenge. So
do you want me to show my jacket before we go on?
oh yeah, so before we went on, she used this really sweet little jacket, and I said, I'm going to make you stand up and show the back end of you.
I don't know if you can see it.
It says, "The revolution is love." We could see it. We could see it. I love it.
And it also has there's some sayings on here. It says beauty, strength, and wisdom on my left side. And it says kindness, hope, and faith on my right side.
Super.
So there you have it. Okay.
Thank you.
I broke it up a little bit there, but
you did good.
I know you wanted me to do that, and I wanted to get it out of the way.
You did real good. I love it. All right. So I'm going to, there's so much. Oh my gosh. When I started with Sirius, and then of course you can talk about Sirius and kind of separate it, but you really have to go back to Lyra, and then and it just continues to open until I'm like, oh my gosh, there's just so much information. So I'm not going to bring it all here because it's just, you could go on for hours and hours about all of it, right? But my thought about, this portal, and if you just stop and think about a portal, what's a portal, right? A portal is the opening, the gateway, the doorway in, right? And what is that? Well, or what we call the spiritual window for manifestation and intention seeking and personal transformation. So and I've got my notes because I can't keep it all in my head either, but it represents, and I'm sure many of you know, an astrological alignment between the Earth, the Sun, and the zodiac sign of Leo and the star Sirius. And so that's why I say, like, you start here, you just keep going backwards. There's just so much information about it, and you can really get into a lot of history, and then it goes way back even before. So, but I do want to talk a little bit just about the symbolism. 88, it's a highly significant number numerology, as the number 8 represents abundance, power, and infinity symbol, which I love this. So, we show the infinity symbol. It's like this sideways, right? It's associated with karma, abundance, power, manifestation, all of that, strength. And it doubles the energy because it's 8-8, which then adds up to 16. And then that theme is individuality, leadership, sovereignty, love, harmony, and balance. And then it reduces down to 7, carrying those energies into spiritual alignment of wisdom and growth. And then the 8, like I said, is the infinity symbol. That's, how we think about it when it's on its side. But I thought upright, it also feels as if it brings from above to below and the flow of between both. And this is the gateway, I believe, or how I see it to be. I think about this all the time, and because that's the way we read our numbers. We don't read them sideways, not anything, about infinity, but I think of above as so below. So there's a lot of Egyptian understanding, and the concept draws on the Egyptian traditions, which track the helical rising of Sirius, because historically it coincided with the annual flooding. So that's one aspect. But then there's like so much more about it. So I'm going to just find my way down to that if I can find it. Let's see if I can get that information up. It's a single star. It's actually a binary star, and series A, B, and C. And these stars are in relationship with one another. And so I got to thinking about that and thinking what, about the symbolic relationship between these three planets in the system and causing growth that happens through relationship between spirit and between matter, between intuition and intellect, both sides of the brain, receiving and creating, we're electromagnetic, heaven and earth. So I just kept thinking like, wow, this is really about relationship. And I think a lot of what we struggle with right now, a lot has to do with relationship as well, whether it be relationship to finances or self-worth or relationship with people or circumstances, businesses, things like that. But whether Sirius is a physical star, a spiritual symbol, an ancient teacher, or maybe it's all of that, I feel like I started to think about it's becoming the light that we all, me, you, all of us, keep searching for. And so I think this is where, I'd like to take this a little bit, because this is something that I can really speak about light. I think about a gateway as being light, because it is informational. I also think that we can talk about this light and manifesting. And if we can't manifest really clearly, if your system is full of interference. And that's also what I think right now we're looking at, is that we're really feeling this interference. I was just having a conversation with someone yesterday about a lot of our interference is really coming through the animal brain, which is survival, and these primary needs that need to be met. And not that there's anything negative that I'm talking about this. It's just that that's where a lot of we are still residing, and that is a part of 3D, being here on Earth. But as we're moving in and the gateway opens to allow us to receive more, so that it connects to our biological and spiritual DNA, we're downloading more so that we can access within us, so that we can remember, so that we can clearly connect. But as we do, as we rise into that, we also bring our baggage with us, that which has not been shifted yet. So I don't think we need more information. I think we need less interference. And so, if you think about right now, at this time, these last years, very specifically, where many of us are feeling overwhelmed by, you fill in the blank. AI is speaking for us. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'll start to write something in my phone and it wants to finish my sentence. And it's like, no, that's not what I meant. Distractions. I did a whole video, not a video, but a talk on keep your eye on your focus, because we have so much distraction, well, I don't even have to tell you what kinds of distraction. So many opinions out there that it creates confusion of your own opinion, and where we go to hear where our truth resides and who's bringing the truth. And I often say to people, I don't listen to much that's going on out there because I want clarity. I want direct. I want to hear my guidance. I want to connect to my higher self, which is in connection to all of consciousness. And when you ask the right questions, you will get the truthful answers. And all of it reduces to fear and giving away our power. So we need to go in because, and nothing against listening to anybody. So don't hear me say that. But when you do, it has to run through that person's filters as well. So I like to be clear in my own self and hear what I'm hearing. What is your truth? And how do you find it amidst this chaos right now? And I think what we need right now is discernment and not fear. And that discernment comes through connecting within, listening to what's coming in, and not being overridden by the fear that's showing up, because it's like wearing forces in a sort of way. There's a lot of dark still working very hard, and the light will and does prevail, but it doesn't mean the dark can't sidetrack you. And so just listening to the guidance. And then I begin to think about this gateway. And for me, I can see a lot. So I can see what I would call a gateway, or what I call a portal. It's in an imagery, but it's in actual energy as well, a field. And so, but we also have a gateway. And like I said, I believe it's in us. Our heart is a gateway, and it's only emotional. It's biological, it's electrical, it's relational, and it's spiritual. So it's got all of these components within it. And when we're coherent and we're aligned, everything really changes when you connect into it. So before you do maybe a meditation, or you're listening to someone, bringing you in a deeper way, when you do that, before and then after, you can feel the difference. And when I've done the work with the quantum biologist, Dr. Glenn Ryan, we've proven this, we've vetted this, we've quantified this information, how it changes. And now I'm not going to talk about that too much today, because that's a whole other subject. But I've been able to see this as it comes in. I've recorded the information that it brings, and then we've collected the data to prove that this actually occurs. And I'm sure you've actually heard others speak about this as well. So when we're coherent, our decision making gets easier because we feel it. When you come to a decision and you feel really good, when you feel it in your body, when you know it, okay, you feel good about it. You are in alignment there. Your relationships are different, right? There's just a movement that is different when it's in coherence. Manifestation happens, and it's happening all the time now, when you're coherent, and healing occurs. You might get spontaneous healing, or maybe you've had something chronic that kind of just, you're beginning to show that, over time it's changing, and your purpose becomes clearer. So once that portal or gateway opens, the next step isn't about receiving more energy. It's creating the coherence to organize it and what you're going to do with it. So just want to talk about why Sirius. I kind of left off on that subject, but I want to just talk about Sirius for a minute. And so I like to think of Sirius as a mirror. And I think right now, we all know that life is a mirror for us, but I think Sirius right now brings this to us. And I think it reflects a higher possibility back to us. We talk about its opportunity to create manifestation, to bring about, calm and peace and relationships and such, and with the relationship within our own self, to find our own truth, to connect and be closer to our divine blueprint. Okay. What we're reminded of, I think, at this time is our true divine power, our power. And I think, or I feel that I hear a lot of people fighting and resisting what's going on. I get a lot of threads come through my phone and my computer and that, and a lot of people struggling right now. But I think we've got to look at the outer signals that are happening, and that they're preparing us to go into the higher frequencies. But that if we don't clear away that which holds us back, we're going to go difficultly into these higher frequencies. You can still access, but it's really calling us to look at our own stuff and try to shift this. So it's not asking us to become someone different. It's reminding us of who we really always have been, but it's like something's on top of it, and you're trying to push it off or remove it, but we just want to disengage from it, so that it's like unplugging, like when you pull the plug from the light, it's no longer, right? So if you can think of that as letting go or pulling it from that which you no longer desire to be, or don't know that who you are does not exist in that, and you want to plug into that which you know deep within yourself who you are. So it's the ability to work with energy and not be reserved for a gifted few. Like I hear this often enough too. And it's a part of our natural inheritance. We are this. Every single person is this powerful light, this divine being. And if you've ever connected with interdimensionals, when you connect into your high self, you know who you are. That's the power that you are. That's the real you. We have this other that we have just taken in, but this is who we truly are. And so the more consciously you use it, the more balanced, clear, and empowered you become. All right, Michelle, what would you like to say about that? Did I catch you off guard?
There's so many nuggets in there, and
Yeah.
I want to just gently ask Marcella, can you also hit mute on your screen, because I don't think she realizes that she didn't hit mute, so every time she makes a noise,
Oh, yeah.
the screen takes you away. So if she can do that, that would really be helpful. And yeah, I had to get to my own mute button because I muted myself as well. But I think, you touch upon so many of the concepts and the feelings that I've been feeling myself personally. And as a matter of fact, Eric and I on Awakening Code Radio, Eric and I went into the station, not this past Tuesday, but the Tuesday before. And he had just come back from Mount Shasta, and he did a speaking engagement there. And I didn't have a guest. The way that I flow with our guests on Awakening Code Radio is I feel into the energy of what's present. And so I don't feel comfortable booking way in advance, because I may not feel that energy when that date comes. So I stay really loose with it. And the guests that come on our show are able to, pivot and be available spontaneously. So sometimes, as we're going through the different challenges that we walk through in our personal lives, we don't always have the bandwidth to do much more. We're carrying the weight. And on this show, it was just Eric and I. And I could tell he had a lot on his heart coming back from this gathering.
Mm-hmm.
And he wanted to share. And I don't often go back and listen to the recordings of our show on the podcast. But I did. I went back and listened to it because I really felt like I wanted to tune into what was it we were really tapping into. And what we were tapping into is we've noticed that more and more people, as more and more people have what we call an awakening, which what is an awakening? An awakening means all of a sudden one day you start questioning everything in your life. You start questioning, why did this happen? And where was I at in my life when that happened? And now, wow, look at the miracle that brought us all together today. And the following the breadcrumbs, as you like to say. And so one of the things that we've noticed is many people are not feeling aligned with their jobs or their careers anymore and jumping into whatever point on the spiritual cycle they're in where I want to be a teacher now. Everybody's going, I want to be a teacher now, and getting into making a career out of an awakening. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't want to make anyone wrong for doing that. What I've noticed, though, is sometimes the words are not matching the actions. And how do we know that? How do we use that as a tool for us to say, that person is a spark of the divine? There's no separation here. We can still hold somebody in a place of loving acceptance, and also take a step back with that discernment meter that I call our guiding compass, is our intuition. And intuition is like a muscle that we need to exercise. Sometimes I'll get a feeling and I'll think, I don't go with my gut because I feel like I'm being judgmental. And then it'll come back around and I say, oh, okay, I see now, where maybe that's not the area that I want to give my energy to. And usually the way that I feel that is in sometimes I'll say to my husband, I feel like I'm seeing spinny dials in people's eyes. What are spinny dials in people's eyes? It's cult-like behavior. How do I protect myself from getting those spinny dials in my eyes? Because I think it's so important that each one of us remain individual in our own sovereignty, and we seek our own truth rather than looking outside of us for somebody to tell us their truth and then expect us to adopt it as our own. And so I think one of the things that you and I, we had a conversation about this, and that is how we ended up coming to this. You said, will you co-host this with me? And I said, I'll follow your lead, like I'll sit there and I want to be a part of it. And that's what I'm feeling into, is that being mindful of the energy that we're taking in addition to being mindful of our own energy and how we're putting our energy out. And Eric and I love one of the things Eric says a lot is, and I've always felt this way as well, we're all students and we're all teachers.
Yeah.
And the real key into that statement is knowing which one you're being in the moment. Because there are times that I am learning so much from people that are our listeners,
right?
Some of who are on this program today, where we go back and forth, where they're teaching me, or in another instance, I may be teaching them. So this is where we're at right now in taking responsibility for our own energy. And there are times where I find myself being the observer of my own consciousness and looking at myself saying, are you being judgmental right now?
Yeah.
So I think the question becomes, how do we become the observer as we're going through these times? Because there is so much information coming at us. AI is another one. I have had a real challenge with AI. but it sure helped make a great, flyer or whatever, invitation. I think your Paolo used AI to get that invitation out to our listeners. So I do see where it comes in handy. And I also really appreciate you sharing how it AI finishes your sentence and you're thinking, hey, wait a minute, I might
Right.
not have been saying that. So back
Right.
up.
Right. Right.
So I think
Yeah.
there is an invitation during these times
Yeah.
for that. And the other thing, I saw somebody, I don't know who, somebody sent me a picture of a meme that says, what makes us resilient in times of change? And
Mm-hmm.
I thought, resilience is a really good word for right now. And how are we bouncing back? And the quote said, resilience is a spirit that affects anyone willing to endure hardships the world has presented to us and to overcome the challenges we face. And I do feel that the way that we are overcoming the challenges we face is by surrendering to that, knowing that we're never, ever, ever separate from source energy. And we don't need a middle man or woman or person
Yeah.
to be in between us and our divine guidance.
Yeah.
And
That,
I
oh,
think
that's so beautiful. You're right. There is no separation. And one of the journeys that I did a long time ago, I wanted to go back to the origination of a particular something that when something started, I don't remember what it was, but where I was taken to, and there's no way my brain would have thought this up. Where I was taken to was when I separated from source. The spark of light that I am, my own personal, separated from source. And I thought, wow, that in itself, just if you think about it, how traumatizing that could be, because
mm-hmm.
now you are not that. And that's all you knew yourself to be, so to speak. I'm just putting in human terms, but stop and think about it. If all you were was light and you were all of that, the light, okay, and now you're not. You're separate. The illusion that you're separate, okay? How traumatizing, and then everything that happens as a result of that. So I want to talk about the portal of light. I
Can
mean,
I interrupt you?
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
I want to interrupt you for a second. One of the things that I really appreciate about this platform called Zoom is there's a chat room.
Yeah,
And I always keep the chat room going so I can see what our
thank you.
listeners are needing. And I see we're being asked, is this just a mental exercise? Will
No,
there be any energy work?
yes.
And thank you for bringing that up. Wow, you have lived through 86 seasons. This is amazing that we're finding that this energy work is really important. In you had said, Laurie, that you will be doing a
Mhm.
transmission, which
Yeah.
I think is super important. And the only other thing before we move forward, I wanted to share that we have it looks like 2 people dropped off because now it's 24 participants, but we had 26 participants most of the time we were talking. 2 plus 6 equals 8. What do you, yeah. I just look at little subtle things here. So definitely want you to continue. We talked about we didn't have an end time, you and I, before we got on the Zoom, and we want to honor everybody's time because this is such a pivotal day that we want people to go about their day harnessing whatever was discussed here or intended here and getting the transmission. And you said it might go an hour or an hour and a half. So we're 10 minutes away from the top of the hour.
Yeah,
And
somewhere in
and
there.
we just want to pace and let everyone know where we're at right now. And
Yeah.
I don't know if you agree with me, Laurie. We didn't talk about this ahead of time, but a lot of times in that chat room, I do love interacting with the chat
Absolutely.
at the end of our session. So I would
Yeah,
like everyone to be able
we'll
to
have
use
some
their
time.
voice or
Yeah,
chat in. So
yeah, yeah. Absolutely.
So there we are. I hope I
So,
didn't break up your train of thought when I did that, but
no, not at all. Not at all.
okay.
No, you're just moving the path, and I love that because we can go down that way. You know, the one thing I think is important right now is to be fluid and be able to flow and move. And so I'm really fine with that. I did have, as I was thinking a little bit about, or just kind of inviting in, I wanted to see, and if maybe we can just do, you know, a raise of hands. Who's seeing symbols right now, or numbers, or patterns? Anyone? Everyone? Yeah. Okay. Lots of people. Right. And I'm noticing a lot of this. Like I'll just turn to look at the clock, or something shows up, and there's all these patterns and numbers and symbols. And I wanted to just address this because people have asked me this. But these may be reflections of the inner parts of you and inner parts of your expression that's going on. So they're mirroring possibly the geometry that you're actually expressing into the collective, or that the collective is mirroring back to you. And once you understand what it means, you can embrace it or change it. I know people think that, you know, the 1111, and there are certain depictions and understandings of them, but I just wanted to bring that thought because I think all of it is light, all of it is energy, all of it is wisdom and information in one way or another. So yeah, we can, let's go into a transmission. Let's do that. And then I just wanted to share a little bit at the end, and then, you know, let's talk about it. Yeah, for sure. Let's open up the board. I think that's an awesome idea. I left it open-ended because I didn't want the time constraint. I wanted to flow with as long as this needed to be, and as long as the transmission needed to be. And I never know who's coming in, or what they're going to say, or what it's going to be, or what they're going to do. So it's always different. And yeah, so I did just ask that they would come in today. And I'll just share with you. So I work with a lot of galactic and interdimensionals and such. And this is coded information that comes from, there are 5 different star groups: a council of galactics, the Pleiadians, Arcturian, Lyran, Sirius, and Andromedan. But sometimes others come in as well, but this is the council that I work with, and I transmit sometimes through. So I'm going to ask that everyone take in a couple nice breaths in, and get quiet within yourself. Don't worry about your time. Don't think about the outside. You're here now. Relax. They are creating activation. This is a portal, a gateway of information that gets transmitted through this. It brings the light, that which activates your own inner remembrance of yourself, and that which is necessary to know at this time. This is not a foresee in the future. This is at this very moment, the timeline you stand in this very current time. They are pleased that you are here. They welcome you. And if you could feel the goosebumps in my body, I would tell you how intense that is. They are happy to be here, happy to share information, happy to send that which illuminates for you. Now, they want me to tell you that sometimes it doesn't all come through verbally. It comes to you in many ways. Sometimes you hear through your ears. Sometimes you can see through your vision. You will experience through your physical body. And sometimes you're not even aware of what is coming to you. But they want you to know this is an activation and bringing about the light which is necessary. Oftentimes, they will begin by streaming light in through your outer fields, coming in through the outer chakras, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, coming in, connecting with these chakras, and then in through 7, the crown. And if you would take your finger, your pointer finger, and put it on your third eye at this moment, because you are aware now and they are activating your pineal gland. And this looks like a spiral when I open up the pineal gland for everyone. I can see you all collectively as well under this, what I call a big dome of energy that they are transmitting into. And as this light you receive, remembering that this is scalar, and between scalar is quantum. This is photonic light information, and it comes by way of those chakras into the 7th chakra as it makes its way, as it pours down through your system, making its way. You may or may not have sensation. You may begin to feel certain parts of your body may tingle or warm, or it can be any sensation. I see a massive lion's head right now. So there is a Lyran council here. The Syrians are here as well. And so they are connecting you to the earth. They want you to root yourself to the earth. They want you to feel like as if you have roots that are growing from your feet, like you're a tree, and you can feel your feet growing these roots into the earth, making the roots as they make their way down to the center, to the crystalline center of the earth. And this is connecting you to the earth so that you are in sync with the earth, that you become one with the earth, and that you are aware of this. Because as she receives codes, she shares them with you, and that you are in sync together, that you are in harmony, that you are working together, and that there is creation as this is done. And as this energy moves up, it comes into the gut, into the deep relational areas in this area of your body. This is vast. This goes all over. This stretches out into other areas ancestrally. And I'm going to tell you what I see. I see a big universe, like a galaxy right now. and this is connected. You are connected. You, each one of you that have come today to be a part of, to receive, are connected to the greater galaxy of those interdimensionals, extraterrestrials. Those, you carry them with you, their information, their heritage, their lineage as well. You carry this within the structure of you. Like they're reminding me, you're like a mutt, a mixed breed of. So you are not just what you think you are. You are other than, you are greater than. You carry the wisdom. This wisdom now is waking you. It is turning on your memory. And in the stillness, even if you're busy in the day, in the stillness of a moment, if you will be observant to hear what comes in, to perceive what comes in, because this is where the information, it comes. It comes almost at what we call the top of the breath, between the breath. In that moment, there is the quiet stillness. The information resides there. And as you are the observer, like you are two beings, one that is observing yourself, your physical self, that which is going about your day. But the observer is watching everything. Much like the great birds that fly above, seeing it all. The observer can see that which you don't see in your humanness. They are sharing their wisdom. They are sending these codes that enter through energy and light. And when you are looking to find this wisdom, you're not going to find it on a shelf. You're going to breathe it in, breathing it in so that you're waking. It's like waking in the morning and you're yawning and you're breathing it in. You're waking yourself up into this most important information that directs you, that provides the path to your life, your personal life, and where the greater collective is. It's attuning you like what is the television with multi-stations going, tuning in. Where do you want to tune into? So in a moment, you can tune where you choose. It's catching the choice that matters. The choice that you want. If it's releasing the old, in the moment, catch it. The observer catches it. And bringing this in through the higher chakras, bringing it into the lower chakras so that you can releasing the old and living through the new. This coded wisdom, it continues to change your life. It continues to bring about your new awareness, your newer capabilities, because you are all capable. You are all capable because you carry with you the wisdom of those that go before you, that have lived this and share back with you their wisdom of what they have learned, what they have experienced. what they all know, providing you with insight so you may step into this with more coherence. The heart is your pathway. The heart provides, when you do your meditations in quiet time, expand your heart, see your energetic heart, and then ask it to open. Don't be afraid. Don't worry about being vulnerable. Open your heart, allowing it to come through. The love, compassion, desire. It is the path that takes you and connects you without judgment. So now what I see is that they are working with the heart at this moment, because I can see streaming. You may feel something with your heart. You may feel it in the back. You may feel it in the front. It may connect to another part of your body as well. But I see a huge stream of light as it enters, as it opens what I call the portal or the gateway to the heart, the entrance. Let it flow freely. Allow it to do what it needs, bring you what it brings. And the pineal gland, as it opens more, as you begin to look at the facets of life and the ways to see it. It is, I'm told, like the kaleidoscope. When you move it so slightly, it changes. Shifting, bringing, opening. And as the light streams in through the seventh chakra, continuing to flow down through the body, opening all the centers, as there are many centers in the system, and extending outward to the other centers of our system that are not our biology. Taking us through this portal now, taking us into where we need to go, experiencing this. So if in your imagery, you can see this gateway, this portal in front of you, and you can see the energy within this. It is like a foggy mirror or an icy mirror. You can't see through it right at the moment, but you can step through it, and it can take you. It can take you where you desire to go, but you must set your intention. Allowing yourself to step in. Step in. If you must, put one foot in, but then step in. Step into the other side and see where you are. See where you go. Where does it take you? What do you need to know at this moment? Wherever you are, it holds the key to this. Key, the key to understand and carry you through. You may be nowhere. You may be everywhere. You may be in a scene. Wherever you are, be the observer for the few moments you are here. This is just for you to know you can do this, to step in. Through this field of light, you may access this and beyond. Another moment to experience before we return. What do you wish to carry back through the portal to your current time? Take a piece with you, whether it be the experience or something that you desire. And so now I'm receiving a signal to step back through the gateway, stepping back the way you came, through, coming back, coming into, coming back into the body. They are shifting now, the energy, so that you may return. Returning back in, your feet and fingers wiggle. Your body, feel yourself back in your body. Coming back in, coming into full consciousness, into your full self, to your physical being. Okay. So we're all back. Hopefully. My suggestion is to grab a little something to eat, something to drink. Just brings yourself back into your physicalness. And now, this is why you brought a pen and some kind of paper or something. Oh, I can still feel that energy. Yeah, so you're going to want to jot down. I'll give you 1 minute at this moment to just write down a couple things that you might want to remember. Because as we move through energy, it's like when you're in your sleep time, sort of, it doesn't all hold in the brain. Yeah. You can keep writing, but I just want to, before we go into Q&A or talk about this, I just, today we touched briefly, and I want to say this is my first time taking someone through a group through a portal. But it's interesting because I was told that I was going to do this just about a couple weeks ago. And there is so much more, because there is literally actual time travel. And when I say time travel, very different than what we're accustomed to experiencing. But this is going to unfold. So, and for me as well, because this is new territory, bringing people to do this. So, it'll be fun. So this is like an ongoing journey where I want to say I'm opening up a group of episodes that will begin to offer access and learning about remembering our cosmic lineage and the galactic remembrance and walking through portals. And so I have working on an outline and modules for this right now. It will be interactive. It will be live. Of course, I'll record it, but this is going to be a series that I'm going to be offering, and it's really connecting to your cosmic lineage. And if you don't know that, it is so important to know, because it tells you so much about who you are. Until I really understood my connections, I didn't understand me as much as I do now. So, and I know so many others feel that way too. So I'm really excited to bring this. Anyway, okay, so I'll be sending out a little letter about that coming in the future. So, yeah, so now that we're kind of back, Michelle, do you want to say something about that? And then we'll open it up for Q&A, whatever anybody wants to share.
I'm seeing in the chat. First of all, thank you. Just thank you so much for gathering us, bringing us together, taking us through that portal. I got a lot of tingles in the body, and my hands got really hot. When we went into the meditation, I didn't even realize I was holding my pen, because I've got my pad of paper on and I had everything on my lap, and I didn't even realize. And my pen got so hot, I had to put it over on the table, because I felt such depth of emotion and sensation. And what I really feel happens when you open up a portal, Laurie, with a group of souls that came here to be with other souls and were led by their hearts to be here, that each one of the people here is contributing to that energy that we're feeling. And the lesson that I feel like we were intending through this experience was for each one of us to feel what it feels like when you are in that coherent field. And then when you're not in a coherent field, that'll feel different. So I really feel like this piece of it was very experiential. And I'm super grateful, and I'm grateful for everybody for showing up. I see Millie wrote wow, and Sue says that was beautiful and powerful. And Sue's also excited that what you're going to bring through. Nadine, thank you. Beautiful, she says. So I just can't help but feel that when we talk about the as above, so below, we are here emitting a transmission through our own open-heartedness and our own free will to learn, grow, share, experience, and transmute some of those energies that we're, not in alignment with, by coming back into this harmonic resonant field that was co-created here by you, Laurie, calling us together, and by each one of us for saying yes and showing up. And I'd like all of us to pat ourselves on the back for being here. I'm patting myself on the back for being here, because I have a party with 50 people coming to my house at 6:00 tonight. And this was too important for me I didn't want to miss it, because whatever this 8/8 is, it's been celebrated through time, and that's been, a marker in our evolutionary process on this spiral. Whatever that is that I feel, and that each one of us feels, it really feels like we did something really good today for ourselves, for our families, for our communities, for the world, and for all the galactics that join in and are peering through the veil, saying, we little humans that are learning that we're so much more than we ever knew. And that we're being given permission to remember that we are so powerful. And I really do feel that is the mantle I want to hold moving forward. And I can't thank each one of you enough for being here and sharing. Does anyone else want to share? What time is it? I have 10 minutes before I had a hard stop at an hour and a half, because I do have to go clean my house and get things ready. But is there anyone else that wants to share?
Yeah, Denise has her hand raised. Go ahead, Denise.
Yes, hello. Yes,
Hi.
great to see you, Laurie. It's been a while.
Yes.
Yes, I appreciate you having this. And yes, I'm very much resonating with everything that has gone on in the last hour or so. When Michelle talked about resilience, that's my word for 2026. It's up on my wall. So it really has really come to the forefront now, in everything that I'm going through. I've had to do a lot of work, and that's what it takes. But the depth of the work recently has been enormous, going through generational trauma, and recovering and uncovering that, and just everything to the surface. So what you've said really has helped a lot. And Michelle, it was wonderful to meet you as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Denise. Oh, thank
Thank
you for
you,
saying.
Denise.
I'm sure we all feel the same as you. We're all experiencing this. Two things. I think what's so important for us is that we come together. There's so many people feeling alone in this right now. And I think when we come together and we do transmissions, we do meditations, we do connect to who we are, we get that opportunity. We get the opportunity to remember at a depth of who we are, and then we go out into the world or go about our daily life, and it allows us to feel different. It allows us to remember this, and I think this is probably some of the greatest gift. We get this opportunity. I know I can be busy in my day, and then I'm hearing, okay, go in, okay, I'm in, okay, I'm hearing, I'm listening, I'm connecting, boom, boom, okay. And it changes the day completely. It just changes it. I'm back to who I am again. This is my greatest of me. So I think we need this. We need more of this. And we need more time to be in this, and a lot the time to be in this, because our lives are super busy. So again, like Michelle said, I'm really grateful for all of you showing up. this is an important thing that you made the time. It shows your inner self that you are important, that you want to remember this, and that you are remembering it. So thank you to everyone. I really appreciate you all so much.
I love that it's 2:22 on East Coast time. That's so awesome. Oh
I know.
my gosh.
It's so good. All right. We can't make this up.
Meditation. It was 11:11. And
I know.
those little codes just, they put some extra pep in my step.
Don't they? I know.
You know, yeah. Yes. Oh,
okay. And from Texas, it's 1322, which is an 8.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
You know, I do want to say something just about those numbers. It's not just about numbers. If you're seeing symbols or patterns of anything, pay attention to that, because those are the interdimensionals, the galactics, whomever are sending you information. So stop for a minute and ask, like, if you could just breathe that in a minute, go, take a deep breath and what is this? What is it telling me? Stop for a minute, because it's a whole lot of information in that. It looks like one little something, but it's not. If I could tell you what it is, what it opens up to, it's amazing. So yeah, just take the moment when you get that coming to you. Take the moment and check in. What is it? What's it got for you? What's the special, gift? So all right. Well, I know you have.
I want to ask you. I want to ask you one question,
Sure.
Laurie. One of the things that came through as we were getting online, I didn't hear it before we got online. We gathered together, and I heard, that small, still voice that gives me the invitation to share what came through.
Okay.
And I wanted to ask, we're now down to a group of 19.
Okay, I can't see it, so I can't see if anybody's asking questions.
If you move your cursor down, it pops up your little screen. It doesn't do it.
I don't know why it's not doing it, but anyway, no big deal. You got it. So go ahead.
I pay attention. It says participants 19.
Yes.
And one of the things that came through was to ask the question, and I'm asking it of you as well. Do you know about the proclamation of the Church of Love?
No, I don't. I've heard of it, but the Cathars. Yeah. Okay, I know about the Cathars. Yeah.
It's the Cathar's decree, and there's, it's about the rebirth of the Church of Love,
right?
And that the Cathars believed in a universal truth.
Yes.
A way of living that transcended dogma and institution. And 700 years after this prophecy, the truth rises again, not in the form of a new religion, but as a remembering of what has always been. And so I guess somebody wrote something up about it. But it has to do, I know you've taken groups to these places where the Cathars had been, at Montsegur, where they were.
Yeah. And we'll be going to Portugal with Kathleen Ball, who's done 2 documentaries on the Cathars. She knows so much information, and we're going to places that other people do not go because of the hidden secrets. So this is coming next year in 27. She's awesome.
She is awesome.
Yeah.
So I pulled it up on my iPad, and we're getting towards the end of our time together.
Yeah.
Would you mind if I just read the little poem thing? I've done this in many groups, and I haven't done it in a long time. So I hope I can get the cadence down and pronounce the words, correctly. But this is the statement, and it resonated so strongly with me the first time I heard it that I really feel that we might, whoever's still with us or whoever watches the recording, may actually appreciate feeling into what this says. It says, "The Church of Love, it has no fabric, only understanding. It has no membership, save those who know they belong. It has no rivals because it's non-competitive. It has no ambition because it only seeks to serve. It knows of no boundaries, for nationalisms are unloving. It is not of itself because it seeks to enrich all groups and religions. It acknowledges all great teachers of all the ages who have shown the truth of love. Those who participate practice the truth of love in all their daily being. There's no walk of life or nationality that is a barrier. Those who are, know. It seeks not to teach, but to be, and by being, enrich. It recognizes the collectivity of all humanity and that we are all one with the one. It recognizes that the way we are may be the way of those around us because we are that way. It recognizes the whole planet as a being of which we are a part. It recognizes that the time has come for the supreme transmutation, the ultimate alchemical act, the conscious change of the ego into a voluntary return to the whole. It does not proclaim itself with a loud voice, but in the subtle realms of loving. It salutes all those in the past who have blazoned the path that paid the price. It admits of no hierarchy or structure, for no one is greater than another. Its members shall know each other by their deeds and being and their eyes, and by no other outward sign, save the fraternal embrace. Each one will dedicate his or her life to the silent loving of their neighbor and environment and the planet, whilst carrying out their daily task, however exalted or humble. It recognizes the supremacy of the great idea, which may only be accomplished if the human race practices the supremacy of love. It has no rewards to offer, either here or in the hereafter, save that of the ineffable joy of being and loving. Its members shall seek only to advance the cause of understanding within whichever church, group, or family they happen to be. They shall do good by stealth and teach only by example. They shall heal their neighbor, their community, and our planet. They shall know no fear and feel no shame, and their witness shall prevail over all odds. It has no secrets, no arcanum, no initiations, save that of the true understanding of the power of love. And that if we want it to be so, the world will change, but only if we change ourselves first. All those who belong. That is the Church of Love.
Oh my God. Wow.
It's powerful.
Wow. Yeah, it really is powerful. I want to ask you if you will send that to me, and I will put that in the letter that goes out with the recording of this so that other people can have the words as well and not, not only the listening. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks. I appreciate that. And I appreciate you bringing that. That's a beautiful way to end. Just a beautiful way to end. There's nothing else to say beyond that, right?
I know, seriously. And Victor, I think Victor he sent the Cathar prophecy in a link.
Okay.
But you probably don't
I don't
have
know
that
if I
link
can access that.
I wonder if Bob can get to it. I see Bob's on. Can he
Wait,
grab that?
I see it. Yeah. Okay. I don't know if I can get
amazing.
it.
Yes,
Copy
please.
link. Okay. I think I got it.
Yeah.
This
is something, many years ago when I started doing these, group gatherings at Giant Rock and Joshua Tree and Mount Shasta and all these things, I was usually guided to read that. And I think I first heard it read at one of Kathleen McGowan's events. And, she knows a lot about the Cathars as well. And so I always like to trace it back to who shared it with me first, because I'm just giving acknowledgement, but oh, I find it so beautiful. So
Oh, thank
thank
you
you
for
all
sharing.
for being here. Thank you,
Yeah.
Laurie, so
Yes.
much. I really
Thank-
appreciate it. Whatever you do tonight and going forward, I really invite all of us to carry this stream of energy with us through not just today, but August 12th,
Yes.
when we have that new moon solar eclipse. We go into the eclipse cycle. And to keep coming back to this energy that we feel right now and transmitting that out with intention and love. Thank you.
Much
Thank
love,
you.
much love
Thank
to
you, ladies, for
everyone.
holding the container. I so appreciate you and setting the frequency of this entire day and throughout Lionsgate.
Thank
It's
you.
so beautiful. Nice meeting you, Laurie. I'll see you later, Michelle.
Thank you, Valeria. We'll see you at my house tonight.
Thank you, everyone. I can't say anything else. There is nothing else to say.
I hope you'll send out the recording to everyone, because I know a lot of the people that said they were going to be, they really wanted to. So yeah.
I
Thank
will.
you.
I will.
And thank you to Bob. If Bob's still here, I appreciate that Bob, was there participating, and that means everything when you have your spouse next to you, maybe in the next room.
In the next room.
Yes. Thank you, everyone.
Have an awesome day today.
Thank you. Thanks, Laurie. Thanks, Michelle.
Bye, everyone. Beautiful day.